Hello there and welcome to this vlog of May 2023. This is just going to be a quick supplementary vlog from the one that I did this morning as pertains the complexities and a little bit of confusion around the pledge manager. This morning I kind of went through what it looked like if you just bought one section of the Kickstarter, so if you just went in at the regiment. That was actually really simple. I managed to do them for the people that I'd bought the Kickstarter for very, very quickly. My own Kickstarter though was considerably more complex than that because I'd bought one regiment and 3 battalions. And if you've been keeping up with things, you'll know that there's been a little bit of controversy over the salvage packs that we are not able to get through the add-ons, which I'll talk about when I get into this video. I've actually lost, I've worked it out, I am short 15 salvage points because of that. But I'll talk about that at the end of the video and kind of how I feel about that, although I can't say I'm that salty, so don't expect too much like heat Catalyst Game Labs. I think I'm going to be pretty stoic about that. So what I'll do anyway, I'll just talk you through this, because if you are one of the people that bought like like a regiment and a battalion, it's just good for you to know this if you've not actually gone into the pledge manager yet. Another important point, they'll keep the pledge manager open for like another month or so there's no massive rush to do this, but you will need to do it eventually. So that's why I'm trying to do these videos early on, just so that there is some guidance at least, because I don't know if other channels are going to necessarily do this. I was certainly confused this morning. I'm not anymore, because I've now been through the whole thing and I can hopefully go through and explain exactly what we are getting and not getting. Before I go into it for proper, just to let you know, I would love to be able to go into the pledge manager and go through it all with you, but unfortunately I can't do that because my address keeps cropping up everywhere, and as much as I like you all, I'm not particularly keen on people on the internet knowing where I live, especially given my controversial spicy take on the clans. They might be showing up at my door, so you're going to have to deal with these like little snippets that I've got here from like screen grabs. So this first section here, so this is the page that you come to. This is the store page basically, so this is where you can add things to the cart. You can see I added another $145 of swag. Yikes. But you know, I am stupid, don't be like me, be sensible. What I'd say though is that the story's good. Like, it's very obvious what you can and can't buy on there, so well done on the storefront. This then though, you can see here, if I just zoom in here, you can see that there's 3 battalion levels. So these $275 ones here, these are the 3 that I go from this page into the battalion section. So that's what we'll talk about next. There is a little bit of a weird thing goes on with the swag. So it asks you to put your swag items in before you get to that page, but then you're choosing your challenge coins off the bit that we get into next. So I don't know why they've done it that way, but it still works out. You're still not losing anything. So you can see there, like, I've gone for a couple of patches and some dice, and it asks you specifically to do that when you get into the add-on section before you come onto the store page here. If I then, it's just cut off there, but you can see if I clicked on next there, it then takes me to this section, which is just like an additional point in the add-ons for your battalion or company or regiment or whatever else you've added on in regard to your bundles. There were loads of questions here. I think there's like 50 plus questions that I got asked, and each one of those is like, you know, it's none of the marketing questions anymore. It's basically, what packs do you want? What salvage packs do you want? Things like that. You can see it's a lot more basic than the actual pledge manager. If you go and see my video from this morning, or if you've done the pledge manager, you'll know there were lots of fancy photos when you were picking stuff. It's not like this here though. You've just got this like copy and these like boxes to pick from. I therefore just reiterate that point that I said this morning. It is imperative that you know what you want before you go into this. Otherwise, you are going to struggle, because there's a lot there and there's very little data. So if you don't know what the Inner Sphere Heavy Recon Lance contains, I ain't going to show you here. So you're going to have a look at that beforehand. But all things considered though, I mean, it is very rudimentary, but in terms of the mechanic of it, it was fine. I didn't feel at any point confused. But the controversy is this section of copy here, which says your add-on bundle includes Force Pack rewards, and then here we are, due to limitations in the Pledge Manager programming, Inner Sphere Force Packs do not include a free salvage box. Now, I'm losing 15 salvage boxes because of this. Catalyst have said, and this is good advice, if you've done this, if you've got like a regiment and then an extra battalion, make sure you put all your Inner Sphere packs in the regiment, because you can get the salvage points when you've got the initial pledge Kickstarter. But in this section here, for whatever reason, they won't let you do that. There are going to be some people who are annoyed about that. I mean, I can't say I'm happy about it, because I'm basically losing, like $100 worth of mechs, something like that. Though they do kind of, in that section this morning, if you watch the video that I did earlier on, and I was kind of saying I don't really understand what they're saying here on this, no, I do understand now. So they have kind of said you can contact us directly about this. I might just, when things have calmed down, I might say, look, Catalyst, 15 salvage points, do you just want to give me a redeeming code for your shop or something? I mean, I probably won't do that. They'll probably come up with some, like a token that you can use when you buy things in their store in the future or whatever. I'm not that bothered. They've got, they usually do things like that. I mean, I think they've kind of done that on the problems with the dice in the last Kickstarter, which were quite well known. So, yeah, again, it's not something worth getting upset about or annoyed. These Kickstarters by definition are good value. So yes, I am losing a bit of value. That is all. And I think it does look like there is a remedy for this at some juncture. This isn't going to be getting delivered for months. So I'll just sit on it and then see what happens. And they might just come back and say like, yeah, here you are. We know you've lost some swag or some extra boxes or whatever. Have a coupon or whatever. As long as you don't give it for me for Target or for Barnes & Noble, because they don't deliver to Europe. So if Catalyst ever see this, please don't do that. Just give it to me for your store. So there we are. That's the controversy over. Just in terms of what the final section looks like, you can see for mine it's pretty significant. It's way long as well, so I'm not going to show everything on here, but it tells you there like what you are, what I've purchased on this Kickstarter. So you can see I've bought like 2 of the Somerset Striker boxes, and everything else there that I've kind of got separately. Then this is where you can see it actually. So you get a nice visibility here when in the questions on the battalions that I've added. So it's all in the green. So it tells me like, I got the St. Ives Compact as a Challenger coin, and I got a Battlefield's Heavy Sweep and Battle and Sweep Lance, and then I got the Mercenary Campaign in a Sphere Assault Lance. So you can actually just go through that and just make sure it tallies up with everything. So that is super useful, actually. And then the last bit of this, I actually bought a... they're calling them independent releases. It's just got the Hanson's Rough Rider box here, though, as a picture. But I've actually bought the Snords Irregulars and the Proliferation Cycle as well. Even though I did moan about that a few months ago and was quite narky about it, still bought it, obviously. And that's it, really. I think it's just, as long as you know that you can just then go and manage your additional purchases across the tiers within the Pledge Manager. It ain't perfect though, and if you are like me and you're a big Inner Sphere fanboy and you always get much more Inner Sphere than you get clan stuff, you're going to lose out here a little bit. Like I said, for me, if I just swap you over to this Excel, so I've just did the equation on it before I started recording. So all the red bits here I actually lost. So I lost all my salvage points for the Inner Sphere Assault Lance, the Inner Sphere Recon Lance, and the Inner Sphere Security Lance, which totaled up to 15. So I was expecting 47 salvage boxes and I got 32. Can I live with that? Well, let's just have a look where most of my salvage boxes sit. Yes, I can. So I've just kind of put placeholders in there instead. So it means that, to be frank, like whether I'd probably sell them myself or I'll put certain salvage boxes in forces, I still like to buy stuff as it's coming out, probably for the next few years for sure, before this entire collection gets made complete. So for me, I'm like, I don't really mind that much. I'd be quite happy if they gave me like a $50 voucher. I'd take that right now, because then I could just go and get... It'll probably pay for my shipping or something like that if I wanted to buy something off the Catalyst store next year. So, yeah, not at all traumatic. I know some people will be getting very salty and upset about this. which is your right to do so, obviously, as a consumer, but just, put things in perspective. Again, for me, and I definitely buy at the high end of the Inner Sphere stuff, as you can see. I mean, look at all these lances here. These, like that, the difference there. I'm getting 6 of the clan lances, and I'm getting, what's that, 6, 12, 18, 22, 27 of the Inner Sphere packs. So yeah, it puts it into context of where my loyalties lie. Anyway, I will leave that here. It's just wanted to be a very, very quick synopsis on the part 2 of this Kickstarter Pledge Manager. So that probably will be the last Kickstarter video that I do for some time. I think next week, hopefully, I'll get back to usual recording. I really do want to do something next week on the Ares convention, so watch this space. Anyway, I will thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully catch you again next time.